80, 85. Wow, are they all like, what is that? Toad Bata. Okay. Welcome back. In the last episode, we finished the Haunted Mine quest, and now we're moving on to Tarn's Lair. This sprawling maze sports a large number of very interesting drop tables. The giant skeleton you can see here gives me a Rune's Scimitar, which is my best in slot weapon for a very long time. There also happens to be a banker in Tarn's Lair, who turns out to be really useful for Slayer. Whenever I get a zombie or skeleton task, I can simply bank at him when I run out of food instead of having to run all the way back to Berderot. But we aren't on a Slayer task. No, we're going to kill Tarn and have access to Terror Dogs afterward. As some of you may know, Terror Dogs are unique in that they can drop a granite helm. Marginally better than the rune med helm I'm wearing right now, a granite helm would serve to be an upgrade for this account. This place is really interesting. On one hand, the dungeon is incredibly confusing and awful, but on the other, it looks gorgeous, and a lot of the monsters have a very unique and interesting drop table for me to exploit. Not only do the skeletons in here provide me with a way of getting big bones if I choose to kill the giant ones, they can also provide me with an amulet mold, which will serve to be invaluable for crafting in the future. I don't have access to balls of wool for stringing the amulets just yet, but they are available through Hunter and catching baby implings. After I lamp runecraft to level 5 and can craft water runes, I'll pour all of the experience into Hunter. Though the video just started, here we are at the boss, so sit back and enjoy. Alright, we did it. After a close call, we're finally able to kill the Terror Dogs and get a shot at that granite helm. Before we do that, let's go ahead and discuss the rules again. Some of you may be new and unclear as to what the account's all about. If you are familiar, feel free to skip ahead, the video will continue. I'm a normal Iron Man who's chosen to limit himself to the swamps and the sewers of Gielinor. I'm only allowed to use items from the restricted areas unless I need it for a very important quest. I'm also allowed to travel between the areas, so I can get to the ones you see here. At this point in time, I'm able to access Mauritania, the Lumbridge Swamp, and the caves underneath, as well as the sewer systems in the main cities of the game. Sleep wasn't added at the time I made the account, so the Draenor sewer was very important as it gave me access to an anvil. The items you see here were integral to completing essential quests. However, I did discover that I was able to acquire silver bars as well as a pestle and mortar, and as such, I dropped them and acquired them the proper way. I did have them with me though, and I thought it would be important to note that. For Slayer, I mostly use Mashna. If I'm not able to complete one of the tasks he assigns me, I have to cancel my entire streak through Turiel and Birthorb. Mashna only gives 2 points per task, and it's not feasible for me to actually use them to cancel them, so I have to use this method. Mashna can assign 22 doable tasks, 6 of them not being doable for the account, which gives us about a 79% chance of completing any given task. We don't get any points though until we at least hit 5 tasks in a row. These aren't great odds and points are hard to come by. Thanks for sticking with me for the rehash of the rules. I hope that cleared things up for people. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Having access to Tarn's Lair makes skeleton and zombie tasks one of my best. It also gave me the adamant skirt that you see here, and a rune warhammer. Hey, another upgrade, we'll take it. Even if it doesn't give a strength bonus yet, it's still better than these snakeskin boots in terms of defenses. Shade tasks are also great XP-wise. You can see the fruits of our labor right here.
Hey, there it is, 45, beautiful.
In the future, I'll be able to burn the remains and gain some prayer and firemaking XP. Infernal mages drop important pieces of gear for me, namely the Dark Mystic boots and hat. In addition, they could potentially drop a lava battle staff, though this is listed as very rare, and I'm not sure how useful it would really be to acquire. Nevertheless, they can drop a lot of runes, and I will take as many of those as I can get, because as most of you know, magic training doesn't come especially easy for me. After a pretty close call, I realized that range might not be my best option. Let's go ahead and switch to melee. Even with melee and better food, they're still pretty challenging. I think it's best we go and get a task that's worthy of us. Though I don't have footage of it, I fished up enough big net fish to get all the way to 76 fishing, which lets me catch sharks. But as many of you know, you also get caskets for doing this. The caskets aren't especially great. They can provide you with gems, cosmic talismans, and key halves, most of which I can't really use. But the gems are actually quite useful, and I managed to get quite a few. I can grab an amulet mold off of the monsters in Tarn's Lair and make unstrung amulets, though remember, I don't have balls of wool just yet. But what we do have now is sleep, the area added about halfway through my account. The notable features of the area are Chaos Druids and an anvil. Sometimes when I do Slayer, I get a Hobgoblin task. This one's especially awful. I have to go underneath the Canifus pub and go into this room filled with poison spiders. After a while, they'll de-aggro, but it's rather frustrating. They do drop plenty of limpwort roots, which can be used for strength potions though.
Hey, there it is, nice.
Now we can kill a real Slayer monster. Bloodvelds are great for gold ore for me, but they also drop this, which I haven't realized yet.
Oh shit. Oh damn, we got it. Nice, that's cool.
The account's really starting to come together. We've gotten some exciting quests out of the way, as well as gained some very good levels in terms of Slayer and combat stats. If we can continue to gain these levels, we may be able to do Barrows in the not so distant future. Barrows will be great. I love the minigame, it's a blast, but it also gives you serious rewards in terms of runes for magic training, as well as the Barrows armor pieces. As the account continues to grow, we're going to gain access to more bosses, namely the Grotesque Guardians and Zulrah. Eventually, we'll even be able to try our hand at the Theater of Blood. But for now, we're still pretty low on the totem pole. And that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching, I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like, feel free to check out my Twitch page listed right below. You can see live footage of me and the account. Thanks again to all of you, and take care.